Thank you for joining me today. I'm really excited to be kicking off these Mental Health Monday videos. We just had here a couple months ago our very first mental health seminar, and we're really excited coming out of that to see what God can do. But coming out of that, we've had a couple questions about how do we do this as Christians? How do we put our mental health as a priority? How do we as Christians deal with our mental health? How do we help this epidemic that's around us of mental health? And hopefully these videos are going to help you, as well as myself, understand better how do we approach this issue. One of those first issues revolves around water. We love water. Here in Washington State, we are surrounded by water so much that it falls out of the sky 300 days a year. We love water. We know in the Bible that water symbolizes life, refreshment. Without water, when there's drought, things die, things shrink, they shrivel. It becomes very difficult to operate when there is no water. We get dehydrated. Physically, our body starts to break down. Our organs start to not operate the way they should. Our blood, as it gets dry, doesn't bring the oxygen throughout our body. So water is really, really important. And so we see this within Scripture. Water comes, and we're told that God is, our refreshment. That through Christ we get refreshment. When we're baptized, it's in water. So why am I talking about water so much when we're talking about mental health? Well, let me ask you, if I have a bottle of really clean, whatever your favorite water is, your favorite bottle of water, you drink that on a hot day, it's refreshing. It brings you life. Now, if you take that same bottle and you dump it out and you go to a puddle and you dip that water, you put that water in that bottle, are you still going to be so excited to drink it? Probably not. So my question is, why is that the case? Why don't you want to put that water in? You're probably saying, well, it's because I don't know what's in that water. There's bacteria in the water. There's probably pebbles, maybe a tadpole, stuff that I don't want going in my body. It's water. Water brings life. But what's the difference between that bottle of water, that clear that you can see through, and the water that is in that puddle? It's rancid water. So we know in the Bible where it talks about, we see rancid water talked about, where water, as it gets standing, that water that once brought life brings death. In fact, let's go to the continent of Africa and look at how many people die from diseases that is transmitted through the water because that water has become stagnant and standing. Because in order for water to be fresh, in order for it to bring life, it has to be moving. It has to be active. If it becomes stagnant, what brought life, what brought refreshment, actually brings death and destruction. So let me ask you this. What are you putting in to your body? What are you taking in? Is the water you taking in bringing life, or is it bringing death? Because what you put in determines what comes out. So if you're pouring rancid water into your body that has disease and sickness, you're going to get sick. But if you're pouring into your life things that bring life, water that's clean, that's pure, so what are you pouring into your life? And this is something that here in the counseling office I've dealt with and I've seen so many times. And that's people coming in and just not understanding why they're where they're at, why they're feeling the way they're feeling, why they're struggling the way they're struggling. And a lot of times what it comes down to is what's going in and what's coming out because of it is not bringing life. See, we're told that the eyes are the window to the soul. That if we let in light, light will come out. But if we let in darkness, darkness will come out. So with living water, the things that are meant to bring us life, are we taking those areas in our mental health that are meant to bring us life, but putting things in that are bringing death? Do the things that you put in, or the things you're putting into your life, resulting in the results that you want? Let me rephrase it this way. Where do you want to go? What are you looking for in life? Is what you're doing and what you're putting into your body, into your mind, into your soul, is that pointing to where you want to get? Or is it pointing in a different direction? When you are dealing with looking to your future, with what you're facing today, is what you're doing, the way you're handling it, the influences that you're allowing to speak to your mind, the way you're coping, the way you're looking for refreshment, is that pointing to where you want to get? Because if not, you need to change it. You need to change what you're doing to match where you want to go. If you want to be refreshed, you want to have new life, you want to have breakthrough, you want to be restored, then you need to be drinking water that brings you that refreshment. If you want disease and death, go grab a cup and go scoop it out of a puddle on the side of the road there. This might sound kind of harsh, but this is a reality for so many, including myself at times, where I want breakthrough, I want refreshment, but what I'm doing, what I'm putting into my life is not going to result in that, what I desire. Because remember, what you pour into you, you pour out. See, water is meant to bring us life. There are things like our spirituality, our faith, that are meant to bring us life. Relationships are meant to bring us life. Let's pause on relationships for just a second. If your relationships are not building you up, are not helping you achieve who you want to be or who you need to be, if they're not calling you to the next level, to a higher level, then you need to reevaluate that input in your life. Not to say you completely cut them off, because there is value in you speaking into others' lives. But if you're looking to be filled up by someone who needs to be filled up themselves, you're not going to get what you need. You're not going to get that refreshment. So when it comes to the inputs in your life, what you are allowing in, is it building up? Is it breaking down? Is it healthy? Is it not? And I'll guarantee, if you take a look at this, if you take a look at the inputs in your life, the water in your life, the areas where you struggle, I'll bet there's a level of rancid water in your life. If you're having trouble connecting your faith with your freedom, there's probably some rancid water that you need to look at. What is your source of water? Is your source of water as a Christian Christ and the living water? Or is your source of water the puddle on the side of the freeway? What is your source? So I hope that this has caused you to kind of maybe think a little bit. Maybe raise some questions. If you have questions, feel free to send them into us. If you have questions as we go through these videos and future videos that you want answered, send them in so we can address them. We would love to hear what you have to say. If this topic is still, you're like, I don't get it. You want clarity? Let us know. If it hit home, let us know. If it really impacted you, share it with others. Be an influence to others. Be living water to others. Meanwhile, Don't allow rancid water to infiltrate your life when you need the living water.